Do you want early access? Do you want uncut reactions? If so, then check out our Patreon. Link in the description down below. It would seem that business is about to pick up. Burns is here, and I'm wondering if he's going to be fighting a Joker in them or if he's going to be against Joker in them. I think he's going to be against because of how dedicated he is to the church and all that. And maybe if Joker's able to convince him, maybe Burns will be like, holy crap, he's right. But it is good that Joker got revenge finally.
Yeah.
I mean, because we saw how his childhood was, and that dude literally beat the shit out of him.
I mean, it was implied the dude did even worse stuff too.
That's the other thing. Anyway, we got this queued up here. Let's go ahead and give it a watch. That's Fire Force Season 2, Episode 13, A Pair of One Eyes. Yo. I think that'd be a good cosplay for you as well, Joker.
やっぱり
Yeah.
聖典を手に入れるには
Didn't think
あん
about
たを
that.
倒さなきゃならないようだ
I have to paint my cigarettes to look like full flavors instead of my two lights.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
面白そうだ
新門大隊長今は争ってる場合ではない話を聞こう
Oh, shit.
最強さんを見て急にビビってんじゃねえよ
西洋教の秘密を探しに来たのだろうその手がかりを渡しに来た
手がかり
Oh, so he's gonna help him
話は
out.
見えねえな昔はこいつによく面倒を見られてた
Oh.
あの時アドラリンクをするまではなアマテラスでホムラ人が大量発生した時のことだ
アマテラスで事件そんな大層な話聞いたことねえぞ
当たり前だアマテラスは安全なものじゃねえといけねえんだ
大将はこの奥か
いたぞ人間の善意を都合よく操作し世界をより良いクソに導いていく俺は世界が知りてえなんで世界はクソなのか
They both looked upon the evangelist. That's why they both lost an eye.
地獄神
私たちは何を見たんだ
今のは幻覚なんかじゃないどこか別の空間に引きずり込まれたんだこれを見ろ
He brought a piece back with him?
今でも無酸素状態の瓶の中で燃え続けているよお前が知りたい真実の手がかりはここにある教祖ラフルス一世の妻の手帳だ
Oh.
妻の手帳俺は隠された聖典を探しに来たんだぜ
そんなものは存在しないお前たちと同様私も長い間西洋教を調べてきたからだこの世界への違和感を拭い真実を知るため調査を始めたのだ
So Burns is not 100% like a full dedicated church follower. He's skeptical of the church as well. He's just putting on the
この手帳
facade.
は
Damn.
各地の忘れ去られたネザーを調査して東京広告設立についての記述は我々広告民なら誰もが知っている聖典と同様の内容だ妻から見たラフルス一世の当時の様子だ
ラフルスと一緒だったキャラバン隊は帰ってきた時には全滅していたけれども旅から帰ってきてからのあの人は
30年間連れ添ってきたあの人と同じ人間とは到底信じられない
浅草で他人とそっくりに化ける能力を持ったやつがいたんだよ
それは最近の出来事だろう
That's right.
これは250年前の話だぞ
その
The
存
dude
在
who
も
could like change
伝道
people's
者同様
faces.
人間ではない高次元の存在という可能性もある
ラフルス一世に化けて西洋教を作ったなんて
そうよ聖典に載っているラフルス一世とは私のこと 西洋教は
There you
伝道師
go.
の命で私が作り上げた宗教の
I mean, that's why people say he looks
私の方で処
inhuman.
理しておく。
Yeah.
まだ調べなきゃならないことはたくさんある。
次に探る先は決まってるようだな。
まあな、灰島重工。
こんなのは時間の無駄だよ。
でも君の担当にオール S 評価のやつがいるだろう。
ナタクソンだ。
The one.
I'd almost forgotten about him.
No, I remembered him.
調理室に俺の新作があるから試してくれよ。
これが新作。また成功に作りやがってチクショー。試せってもこれで何を試せって言うんだ。チクショーあんた。ああチクショー。
ってのはこっちだよ。
ミキサー。
療養のためにここで世話になることになったんだ。
そうなんですね。リサさんなら大歓迎です。
海援騎士団の団員だ。また裏切るかもしれないんだぞ。
第8にいればそんな気は起きませんよ。
バルカンさんの新作ってこの先
Oh God.
押すとどうなっちゃうん
Don't.
ですか。お前らな。
リサイサリベ君の退院を祝ってプロテイン入りスムージーで乾杯。
乾杯。
Protein smoothies.
お前用にメカパイオツ作ってやろうか。
ねえ誰かティッシュ取って。
こぼしてんじゃねえよ。
王朝に殴り込みに行っただけなんだがな。
殴り込み。
ジョーカーっていう怪しい男と一緒にな。
シンモン大隊長がジョーカーと。
私の言うこと信じられないかもだけど、私たち伝道者と西洋教がつながっている様子はなかった。それに
無理はしなくていい。少しあっちに行ってよ。
Oh, Giovanni. If
すみません。
there was one character I could jack slap.
例えば服飾なら必要な素材からデザイン、製造まで全て灰島が絡んでいるし、この国の人口の約 70% が
灰島の内情に詳しい人は。あ、リヒト捜査官。
シーカ半島のレポート関係でまさに灰島に呼び出されたらしい。
アマテラスの動力源や灰島の能力開発にまで触れる必要はないだろ
う。まさにその件で社長に呼び出されまして。
お前消されるぞ。
君の仕事は第8特殊消防隊のスパイだろ。
広告のアマテラスがそれと同じというのは暴論だ。
ましてやその燃料と我が社の事前事業である児童の発火能力開発をつなげて論じるなどありえん。
神羅草壁をうちの研究所に連れてきなさい。
排除するのが無難でしょう。
幸い彼は無能力者です。人体発火が起きたといえばごまかせる。
ビクトル・リヒト、神羅草壁を連れてき次第殺しましょう。
I hope that they're able to
It
prevent
sucks
that.
that he is being a spy. Like, I knew there was something off about him.
Well, I knew
But
that
he's still
they,
too likable of a character to just die. Like,
I knew his placement. Well, that's the thing. Every character's placement there, there's a reason for it. Like every new character that's come in since the beginning of the series, because we know why Shinra's there. Because Shinra's an outcast, and having him placed there is, basically, the only place he can they'll really accept him. Arthur, same thing. And then, of course, we know why Licht is there, to be a spy. Vulcan is there to basically combat against Giovanni and the corruption that's going on with him. And then we had Tamaki, because she was placed there basically as a little bit of an inside mole for the or basically as an inside mole / assistance for the 8th by the 1st. So again, every character has their reasons for being there, and Licht basically being a spy for Hajime. I mean, I think Hajime expects him to go off track a little bit and not be 100% on their side, but I mean, Licht's a very curious person.
also,
His curiosity is going to lead him to do some stuff for them.
that scene just basically kind of confirmed that, like, the church is not really... Like, the church is a made-up thing, essentially. by the evangelists, but the church doesn't actually know the truth. Whereas they want to kill him basically because he's getting too close to the truth. So they are going to be the ones to investigate because they apparently know more of the truth than the church does.
Yes. Basically, that's how I read that. I mean, I know that Shinra and everyone in the 8th, they're doing everything they can to investigate, but yet they're doing an investigation on multiple fronts. I mean, they're investigating. At first they were investigating all of the different companies. Now they're investigating the 2 primary executors of the Fire Force, the Church and Hajima. The Church, they've basically capped off that investigation for now. I bet you there's more to it, but I think the big part of them finding out about Raffles the First not being an actual human, but instead being a being from the higher plane and who is pretending to be Raffles, thus leading the world into religious stupor with this religious organization. Then there's Hajima, which definitely seems to be collaborating with the evangelist, although I don't know 100% the full extent of it.
I don't know if they're collaborating with the evangelist. I just think that they know that Amaterasu is powered by a person, and they might know more about the background behind how that works, such as the Udulutch being from hell, essentially.
Yeah.
They probably know, to an extent, that the church is bullshit, and it's all set up conveniently for them to basically maintain their status quo as is, because with like as minimal resistance as possible, because they basically have all of the human existence to an extent, except for maybe District 7 on board with like the same way of thinking, like, so that offers very little resistance in terms of like, say, all right, people find out Amaterasu as a person in it, you immediately have activists for set Amaterasu free, you can't do this.
Yes.
You know, and that's a fucking problem on their part.
Big problem.
Because then they have to respond to that. They have to essentially put out to the world one of 2 things. Either, all right, we're going to come up with a plan to shut down Amaterasu and release this person, or we're basically going to say that, hey, we're morally, like, black in this situation, and we think that it's better for the world if we just continue allowing this person to be Amaterasu, and y'all just need to shut the fuck up because this is the best thing for everybody.
Yeah.
And just listen to what we tell you. But, like, you know, it's going to cause conflict.
Yeah.
Well, letting the truth get out that the church is bullshit is going to cause conflict as well.
Oh, like, immense conflict.
It's going to put a lot of people into confusion. People will start going back and trying to find, like, where's the truth? What's the real religions? Which of these old religions was right, you know, if this one was wrong? Like, or there's going to be new religions that come to pass, which ends up breeding probably a lot of cults and just more conflict as a result. You know, like, probably people with violent tendencies, people trying to overthrow the churches and causing violence towards the church people. Yeah.
I believe
there's a lot of problems for them as basically the industry that is pretty much the government, if the truth gets out, like, that they're trying to cover up. So I don't think necessarily that they're in league with the evangelist. I don't think they want everything to be destroyed, but I do think that they have a reason to cover up what they know, for sure. They have quite a few reasons to cover up what they know, for sure.
Yeah. Well, again, I was surprised that Burns was 100% on their side and that they didn't have to convince him because of how dedicated he seemed to be to the church in the first season. But now I get it. He was working with the church to find out more information, and now then he found it out. Now he shared it with Joker and Shinmon, and Jesus, now the rest of Fire Company 8 knows it, and it's friggin' insane. It's nuts.
I'm also thinking this very well could be a situation of, like, kind of almost like a Final Fantasy type situation. Like, they're essentially the antagonist in this is God, Like
the evangelist
is essentially like the
is
creator
like the god.
of everything, and the apocalypse was supposed to have happened during the first cataclysm, but they missed a bunch of people, and so essentially the evangelist like is preparing to mop up the leftovers, but went ahead and put forth a plan to keep the rest of humanity in check until the evangelist is like set to mop up the rest of the leftovers or whatever.
Yeah.
And essentially they're going to be the antagonist because, you know, the humans are going to revolt and be like, we're not cool with just being wiped out. Like, you know, we don't care if you want us to be gone or not. Fuck you. Like,
yeah, who would be cool with being wiped out? I mean, fuck that shit.
Well, I mean, technically Christians are.
Well,
like,
to an extent, but at the same
technically,
time...
like, the way that our religion goes is that, like, God's going to come back and destroy everything, and then we'll all spend eternity with God, and we're all just kind of cool with that.
Not really. It depends on which thing, because the rapture, you know, that's sort of a figment of like early 1900s theology. Like, we're just going to get lifted out of our socks and then just ascend to heaven. But in truth, what's going to happen is basically the Antichrist is going to come. That's in terms of like religious doctrine. You know, the Antichrist is going to come. He's going to basically cast humanity to the point where they're like, what's left of humanity is going to be irredeemable, and those who do not repent those who do not join his side are going to die, and those who do join his side are going to be damned, and then Satan will reveal himself and rule the earth for 1,000 years, and then basically God will return and cast the devil down again, and that's basically it.
Which I think that's a little weird too. Like, why would God let Satan rule the earth for 1,000 years?
Don't know. Truth is, again, dude, Revelations, I don't know how the world's going to end, but I do know that Revelations is an interpretation on how someone sees the world ending. I mean, again, there's not much red letter stuff in Revelations. There's not really a lot of red letter stuff in Revelations, so yeah, I don't really take Revelations verbatim. Instead, just that's why I consider myself a red letter Christian, because of all the stuff that's present in the Bible that contradicts itself, and it's just like, why would God allow that? Why would God let this happen? Why would God again?
I mean, honestly, it kind of makes more sense if you think about it. That it's like he made all this, and it's kind of an experiment that he's running to an extent.
Kind of,
yeah. As long as like it's still running to some degree, like, what reason would he really have to like change up the way it's currently working, or put it like 100% into it? Like, you know, it's just kind of just he's letting it go until it basically runs itself into the ground, which humanity is definitely on the path of running themselves into the ground.
Oh yes, we're on our way.
I mean, it won't be in our lifetimes, but eventually it'll happen. And
at
that point, like, it would be understandable if he came back and pulled out those who were still kind of like, hey man, like, kind of having some problems here, like, you gonna help us out?
Can you help us out now, please?
And he'll be like, yeah, and then he'll put an end to it, you know. And maybe he'll start a new thing, who knows? Like, he'll do something, I'm sure.
Well, the beginning and the end.
You gotta get bored when you exist forever. Like, so.
Yeah, well, the beginning and the end and the beginning again. I mean, that's the cycle of life. Anyway, I think that's going to do it, everyone. This was Fire Force Season 2, Episode 14, A Pair of One Eyes. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and if you want to see more, then be sure to subscribe, be sure to leave a like, and until next time, I'm Nate.
I'm Nick.
See you later, everybody. Peace out.